title of today's topic is 2012. Are you ready? 2012 is the year of sharing and caring. 2012, we're going into a new year. So are you ready to express, expose, and expand your God-given gift? Let me say that again. In 2012, are you going to be the same person? Are you going to limit your expression? Are you going to share your share? Are you going to share your giftedness? Are you going to share your diaconia, your service, or your ministry with the world? So 2012 is all about finding. 2012 is all about launching. 2012 is all about financing. 2012 is all about promoting. 2012 is all about monetizing your giftedness, your diaconia, your service, or your ministry. So yesterday I had an opportunity to go and visit my biological father, and I took my kids with me, at least 3 of my 5 kids, and on our way to Houston, I live in San Antonio, so it's about a 2-hour drive. And on the way down, we had a great time fellowshipping with my kids. And we got there, got a chance to hang out with my father. As you know, if you've heard my testimony, I wasn't really close with my biological father growing up. So it's an awesome opportunity to be able to spend time with him now that I'm older and he's older. And after hanging out with my dad and driving back to San Antonio, I had an interesting conversation with my middle daughter named Sheree. My youngest son named Kendrick and my youngest daughter Shamora was there. My 2 oldest kids, Sade and BJ, wasn't available. Sade lives in Dallas and BJ was at work. So we were talking, and as we were sharing and talking about our differences and how we each had certain things that we had to overcome, certain obstacles. I wouldn't call them problems, but personality, I wouldn't even call them flaws, but certain little personality quirks, if you will. And we were talking about my oldest daughter, Sade, and we was talking about how she puts herself in certain positions like myself, and how we are both very strong-willed and determined. And me and my oldest daughter have figured out how to manipulate, if you will, this thing called life. We understand, overstand, and understand that there is a way, there's a system, there is a method in which to bring about a particular result. Let me say that again. In life, if you put your words in a particular order, you are guaranteed to get a particular response. That's called grimorie. This world that we live in is based on principles and laws. If you understand those principles and those laws, then the results that you're looking for are guaranteed. For example, I'm opening a brand new business. I went to this particular millionaire, this particular gentleman, and asked him to invest in my particular business. It's a coffee shop, bookstore, and an adult learning center. The gentleman said, "No, great idea, man, but not interested." About a month later, I asked him again. Same response. After observing the gentleman, I realized that this particular individual had made his money, was set and established, and now he was giving back to society. He was not interested in undertaking any more business adventures. So what I did is I reassessed how I approached him, and I went back, and this time I reworded. I asked for the exact same thing, but I changed my words. Grimoire is the ability to put words in a particular order to invoke a particular response. I got the response that I was wanting. And so as I was talking with my children, I realized that as an African American, as a black man, a lot of time we're lone wolves. We like to do stuff in secret and in private. My father never shared any of his life with me. I have no idea how he went about getting jobs, businesses, or doing the positive things. How did he get results? I had no idea. No black man has ever came to me and shared with me how to be a black man. I had to figure this out through osmosis. I had to figure it out on my own. Now that I've figured it out, it is my purpose, it is my destiny to share with all men, especially African American men, because I'm one. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, Sade, intuitively picked up on that, obviously from being the oldest and from hanging around me. Sade has the ability to put herself in particular positions to evoke a particular response, although she does it most of the times unknowingly. So 2012 is all about you being able to put yourself in a particular position to guarantee a particular response. That's what grimorie is. That's what grammar is. That's what math. That's what music. The three immutable laws of this universe focuses on that particular principle. So what is your share? As I was talking with my children, I realized the mistake that I made was I did not share my share with them. My share is the ability to break down complex issues. I'm a teacher. I'm a master teacher. I have the ability to make the complex simple. I can reveal, explain, illuminate, and simplify what other people may consider complex issues. So I was not able to operate in my strength because I had a particular issue. And most of us, especially within the African American community, have this same issue, problem, and it's this issue of self-hate. See, I was raised to think that if it's white, it's right. So I was raised with, you know how within the African American community, if you are a dark skin, the darker the hue, the darker the color, then the less intelligent or the less desirable you are. You know, within the African American community, there is racism within the races. The lighter your skin, the more acceptable you are, because that's handed down to us from our Caucasian brothers and sisters. So from the Willie Lynch era, so the lighter you are, the more right you are, the more intellectual you are, the better chance you have of being successful. And so when I looked in the mirror, I was a dark, very dark African American, so I had self-hate. I didn't love myself. Didn't know why, but all I know, I did not want to be me. So growing up as a kid, I spent my entire life, 40 plus years, until I finally figured out what it says in the Bible, what it talks about. That's the scripture I'm paraphrasing. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together. Whatever measure or degree that you give, that same measure or degree is going to be given back to you. That, my brother, my sister, is one of the most important things. Going into 2012, if you still have what I had, which is hatred of self, hatred of, when you look in the mirror, if you don't like your hair, if you don't like the color of your skin, if you don't like the content of your character, if you do not accept yourself exactly, flaws and all, don't try to change who you are being. Don't try to change what you are doing. Don't try to change what you are having. The secret to 2012 is acceptance of self. You cannot love anyone else until you first love yourself exactly where you are. The mistake that we make, especially within the Christian community, when you go to church, the first thing they do is they try to change you before they accept you. Therefore, they are validating the false premise that you already have, which is you must change yourself before God can use you, before your wife can love you, before your children can love you, before you can get a job, before you can start a business. You got to do all this stuff. Let me humbly submit to you, my brother, my sister, there is nothing that you need to do. You have everything that you need for life and godliness right where you are. You must bloom where you're planted. Let me say that again. You have to start where you are. You must bloom where you're planted. Right where you are. I don't care if you live in the ghetto. I don't care if you live in a palace. I don't care if you weigh 500 pounds. I don't care if you weigh 120 pounds. I don't care if you're a drug addict or if you're alcoholic, whatever your issues, whatever your problem is, forget about the problem. Focus on the solution. 2012 is about being the solution. You must be the solution to the problem that you have. Let me say that again. 2012 is about being, not doing. You're a human being. You're not a human doing. 2012 is about you being your share. You being the solution to your problem and every person's problem that you come in contact with. So when I was sharing this, my daughter Sheree eloquently broke down how she goes through life being content. That word contentment, the scripture says it this way: Godliness plus contentment is great gain. What is contentment? Think about that for a moment. Contentment. Contentment is an awesome word because contentment means not needing outside assistance. Let me say that again. Contentment, the definition of the word contentment, the biblical definition of the word contentment is not having need of, not going out, not needing outside validation. My 21-year-old daughter taught me a secret that has eluded me for 40 plus years. What is that secret? Stop waiting for somebody else to come along and validate your dream. Stop waiting for someone else to come along and make you feel that you are valuable, that what you have to give is worthwhile. Your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem must come from within, not from without. Because if someone can lift you up, that same person can come along and tear you down. You must be self-sufficient or God-sufficient or Christ-sufficient. That's what self-love is all about. So your ability to receive, and this is important, your ability to receive is determined by your ability to give. The reason that it took me 40 plus years to get to the point of financial freedom and the point of spiritual enlightenment and physical immortality is that I was not giving. The reason that I didn't give anything because I thought I didn't have anything. I was waiting to get. So all my life I was a taker. I've been spending my entire life taking classes, going to seminars, reading books, going to lectures, going to this church, listening to this pastor, going to this reverend, going to this doctor, taking, just absorbing information. But I was not giving anything. Therefore, I could not receive anything. So I destroyed my 20-year marriage because I was too stupid to receive the love that was given to me by my ex and my children. Let me say that again. My brother, my sister, this is very, very important. You cannot go into 2012 with the same problem, with the same mindset that you have right now. That mindset is one of, I need something. Therefore, according to the scripture says, God has given you everything that you need for life and godliness. So to him that has, more shall be given. But to him that has not, the least or the little that he does has will be taken from him. Let me say that again. If you live your life like me, the little you have, you're going to lose it. Why? Because you're telling the Creator, what you have done for me ain't good enough. It's like a certain rock star in the African American community who went out and bleached his skin because what he was telling the Creator is the shade of my skin color that you made me ain't good enough. So obviously, God, you made a mistake. So let me correct your mistake that you made. Or there are certain women within our celebrity status or celebrities who go out and get breast enhancement because they're telling the Creator, the breast you gave me, they ain't big enough. Or they too big, or whatever the self-improvement that we're doing. I've spent my entire life in the self-improvement industry. Self-improvement is flesh improvement. Take the word self, turn it around, you have the word flesh. My brother, my sister, you are the apple of God's eye. You are created in image and likeness. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. There is nothing that you need to go and get. What you have to do is give what you have. So the question is, what do you have? I've spent my entire life looking for something that I had all along. Why? Because of the self-hatred. Now, I'm doing a show on January the 15th on www.anymeeting.com/master teacher on January the 15th at 7 p.m. Very important show because I'm going into detail on finding, giving, promoting, sharing your gift, your calling. Why? Because 2012 is the year of Christ expression or self-expression, because Christ is in you. See, we have this treasure hidden in earthen vessels. What is this treasure? Christ in you, the hope of glory. So by expressing yourself, you are expressing. See,